everybody, and welcome again to Gospel Aerobics and more. You know, Baltimore's been around, and Baltimore's been talked about. Baltimore's one of the most exciting cities anywhere you can go visit.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. But guess what? We got something great that's coming up that the whole country's going to talk about after it's over with, and that's health freedom. We have with us today Ms. JEANNE Charleston, the Executive Director of Health Freedom. How you doing, JEANNE?
Fine, James. How are you doing?
Right. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Okay now. Okay, well, we got you here today. We know that you're a very busy person. We got to hold you here like we got to hold you here for a little bit. So what are we going to do today? What is Health Freedom?
Health Freedom is an innovative program where we've tied in the history of the Underground Railroad and health. You never think about health in history, but we've done it. So the way it works is that we know that many of us are enslaved by our bad health habits, and that we have to free ourselves. And just as our ancestors obtained freedom through walking, that's what we need to do today. And that's what Health Freedom is all about.
Okay, how did Health Freedom begin?
It actually started, James, 11 years ago. I am a registered nurse, and I taught a class one night for people that had diabetes. And there was one woman in the class, she had diabetes, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. And she talked about how hard it was living with those three diseases. And I went home that night and I could not go to sleep. I just kept thinking about her. I tossed and I turned, and at one point I cried out and said, God help me. What can I do to just help people like her and others? And all of a sudden, God gave me the thought of our ancestors who walked hundreds of miles for freedom. So I got out of bed and I went to my computer and I did a Google search on Underground Railroad, and I started reading the stories. But what struck me was how people came together, whites, blacks, Jews, Gentiles, to help their fellow man. And that's what we need to do today. We've got a big problem, you know, James, with obesity and diabetes and high blood pressure in this country, and that we all need to come together and help each other. So that's how I came up with the idea, but what I wanted was not just a one-day walk. So what we do is, if the program is for a full year, and we train people to be what's called conductors, just like Harriet Tubman.
Oh, yes.
They're the Moses that's going to lead their people to freedom. And so the conductors do a training, and then they go back and they form a circle of friends. And a circle of friends can be anywhere. It could be at a church, it could be, we actually had one at a synagogue, okay. We've had a book club. We had a family last year in Baltimore City. There was a mother who had 6 adult children. She had diabetes, 5 of her children had diabetes. 3 of them married men who had diabetes, and they had grandchildren that had diabetes. And they all formed a circle of friends. And they were able to get off medication to really improve their health.
Yes, that is great. So we're just going to ask JEANNE, while you're here, could you give us your contact information?
Sure. It's 410-669-6340. That's 410-669-6340.
What type of educational information do you give out when you have your circle of friends and Health Freedom and the program?
So everyone gets a training manual, and in the training manual every week there's a history lesson about the Underground Railroad and about people who made it to freedom. There's a nutrition and there's health. So you learn about signs and symptoms of strokes, you learn about the new guides for eating, and you learn about different ways to exercise. There's lots of good information in the manual that they get. So every week they have something different.
So it's good for them to review the information each year when they go to the walk, because the way and everything that you said, the guidelines do change.
Absolutely, and we change the book every year, and we update it with all the new information.
Okay,
Yeah.
Where are some of the places they could go to get involved in the workshops?
So we've got, they can call the office again. Let me give you that number. It's 410-669-6340 to get the sites. But like we have Wayland Baptist is one of our sites. We actually have one at the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene down on Preston Street. We have one at Mount Lebanon Baptist Church. We've got 25 different sites here in Baltimore City that they can go to.
That is great. Jean, can you give us just a little more history on
About the program?
About the program and about the Health Freedom Walk, some of the benefits.
Okay. Well, let me just give you a little history, go back a little bit with CHAMP, which was the mother of Health Freedom.
Yes.
CHAMP stands for Church Community Health Awareness and Monitoring Program. And CHAMP was started in 1979. And you believe it's been around this long.
Yes.
And that over the years, we have trained people to do blood pressures. We've trained people with information regarding diabetes, high cholesterol. We have a program for church cooks. In fact, we've got classes coming up. If there are any church cooks that want to learn how to prepare heart healthy food for their church congregations, they can sign up for our cooking class for churches. It's going to be in May, and again, they can call the office to get the location. That number again is 410-669-6340. We also have a program for young people, Healthy Kids, Healthy Future. But with Health Freedom, again, that's one of the many programs that we have part of CHAMP. And with the Health Freedom, people are walking together every week, and in their training manual, we have a map that goes from Chestertown, Maryland to St. Catharines, Canada. St. Catharines is where Harriet Tubman took her people.
Oh, okay.
It is 600 miles one way.
How long did it take them to walk 600 miles? Do you have any idea?
It took a couple of months.
Okay.
There actually was a gentleman he did it, I think, in 1998. Anthony Cohen retraced some of the route that Harriet Tubman did, and it took him 2 months to get to Canada from Sandy Springs, Maryland. But of course, he was able to travel in the day. He didn't have the constraints that people did back in the 1800s. But it took them about 3 to 4 months. They did an average of 10 to 20 miles a night.
Okay.
And they could only travel during the night because there was a risk of getting caught if they were traveling during the day hours. The other thing is, I forgot to tell you that everyone, after they do the 6-week program, then we do our celebration walk. And our celebration walk is going to be on June the 1st. We start at St. Mary's Park, which is at the corner of Druid Hill and Paca, and we celebrate and honor our ancestors. We celebrate and honor those who have been working hard in increasing their physical activity, and we celebrate and honor our future generations. But everyone receives what's called a freedman slave tag key ring. And during slavery, people had to wear these tags if they were free blacks. That's how they knew if someone was free or if they were still a slave. So everybody who comes out on June the 1st will get their freedman slave tag, symbolizing their freedom from their health burdens.
Okay, that is good, and that's great information. Jean, one more quick question I want to ask you. What are some of the benefits if a person stay on this program and keep?
Oh my goodness, there's so many benefits, James. First of all, just feeling good.
There you go.
People tell us they feel so good. You know, it energizes them and they feel so good that exercising just invigorates people. They're able to lose weight. They're able to lower their blood pressure. They're able to improve their arthritis. People don't think about, they say, oh, I'm in so much pain from arthritis, but if they would walk, it helps to improve their arthritis. It helps to lower their cholesterols. It also helps if somebody's trying to stop smoking. Like by just walking, it will help them with getting over that addiction of cigarette smoking. So there's lots of benefits to participating in the program. and just increasing their physical activity.
Man, we like it. Thank you, Jeanne, for being here with us.
Well, thank you. It's always good to see you, James,
Yes.
and always good to talk with you about the program.
And you heard it again. And we want to see everybody out there. We want to see the streets of Baltimore City packed on that day when we had a great celebration party. You know, we talk about celebrations, the celebration when we get to heaven. But why wait until we get to heaven? Let's have it now.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
We'll see you there, and we'll see you there real soon. God bless.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that whole skull.
In the year 2000, Jeanne Charleston started organizing health walks in Maryland. Jeanne, a nurse by profession, is also the project director of the Community Health Awareness and Monitoring Program, known as CHANT, based in Baltimore, Maryland. This documentary summarizes the activities of the Health Freedom Walk, A Path to Wellness, during the year 2005.
I teach health education classes, and most of them dealing with cardiovascular disease. And the one thread that goes through all of this, all these classes, was exercise and the importance of physical activity. And I said I have to come up with something that will motivate people just to walk. And so I started reading about slaves in this country and how they walked hundreds of miles to freedom. And so I came up with the idea of doing a walk where we would retrace the route of many of our ancestors to free ourselves from the burden of bad health habits today. I read stories about people who had been enslaved and how they walked hundreds of miles to freedom. I thought that's what we need today. We need that motivation, that drive, that stamina to free ourselves from the health habits, bad health habits that we have today. And I thought it would be a great link into our history. And it's important that we know our history, where we came from, so that we know where we're going.